Hello and welcome to this discussion on politics which is happening on demonetization. Today we have Sumit Gulati, who is business head of financialexpress.com, and Kunal Majumdar, who is the editor of inyouth.com. So since we are coming close to 50th day, and there have been a lot of issues on ground, I think the political parties have kind of taken it as a big opportunity to kind of do politics around it. There are real issues, but never have you seen back-to-back speeches which are coming from Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi in different cities. Also, Prime Minister taking out a precious 25-minute time to mock Rahul Gandhi is also kind of not in the line with what people need at this point in time. So, starting with you, Sumit, what's your view on this whole political scenario being built around demonetization?
I think it is only natural that there is politics around this. With 86% of the currency sucked out, so many people in the country now stuck in ATM queues and everywhere else. But a lot depends on what kind of issues are raised. And as you just rightly pointed out, that the Prime Minister is taking 25 minutes out to mock Rahul Gandhi. And Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Kejriwal are taking a lot of time to allege some kickbacks and some sort of charges against the Prime Minister, corruption charges. We don't know how those corruption charges are central to the problems people are facing on account of demonetization.
So they're just trying to, this is an opportunity for them to malign the PM.
Of course, I mean, they're not raising issues of workers not getting paid wages.
Correct.
Or people not getting cash.
Correct.
Or the real estate sector going down, or automobile sales going down.
Correct.
All of that is not there. It's just allegations.
So how much, Kunal, does the allegations weigh? I mean, these are pretty unsubstantiated allegations.
Well, you have to really look at demonetization at this time with what's going to happen in February.
Sure.
February is the election in the largest province in India, Uttar Pradesh.
Sure.
So if you are actually seeing the Prime Minister taking out 25 minutes of his time in Banarasi at Banaras Hindu University to kind of give it back to Rahul Gandhi primarily. Or if you see Kejriwal going to Banarasi, by the way, and mocking the Prime Minister there, or alleging things against the PM, or Rahul Gandhi traveling yesterday and yesterday in UP and today in Uttarakhand, both the states which go to election polls in February. So demonetization, of course, is an issue, and I don't think we should be surprised from either side if there is politics happening, primarily because it's just less than 2 months from the elections and 70s in a big
So Kunal,
state.
my point is that, here is a time where people are really suffering, and I know, due to elections, there could be all kinds of political speeches being made. The kind of schedule they are running, I mean, like Rahul today, I think 3 days in a row he, gave a speech. Arvind is not missing a single day since last 8-10 days. My point is that, if Arvind comes out, says, I've got this paper signed by income tax authorities and I've seen some entry, I've seen a file, and why Prime Minister has not got investigated. I mean, it kind of lends very little weight because, there's hardly any proof, and you keep talking about, and he gives the same speech every day. I mean, if you've checked out the speech, it's absolutely the same every day. And how many people know Vijay Mallya? How many people know what's written off?
And the substance of it is now being copied by Rahul Gandhi.
Yes, I mean that's another funny thing that Rahul Gandhi is taking.
I did an article saying that how Rahul Gandhi basically has nothing original to speak. So in order to help Congress come back, he's copying Arvind Kejriwal.
I mean, a side question is Kejriwal, Sumit, the only opposition right now, or only big opposition who's at least available on TV cameras and who's more visible?
I think he is setting the agenda. So the other political parties are not thinking as fast as him and as differently as him. So what Kunal says is, Rahul Gandhi is now trying to copy Kejriwal's style. Perhaps it is true to a certain extent. But I don't really know about the efficacy of this strategy of personally attacking the Prime Minister.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you look at the previous UPA regime, Manmohan Singh possibly presided over one of the most corrupt governments with lots of alleged scams during it.
No doubt.
But no one personally attacks Manmohan Singh for impropriety.
I do not agree with it because I do remember during the coal scam, things did become personal, and he was personally attacked because they said that he actually presided over the ministry.
Yes.
Yes, but
the
did
whole
he take
ministry-
money? So in this case, they are saying Modi took money, but no one is saying that. Okay, the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh at that time may have let certain things happen, but we don't know if he was personally involved in letting those things.
So like
happen.
Arun Shori himself alleged that Prime Minister didn't do enough. I mean Manmohan
Yes.
Singh at that particular point in time. I think it's like,
But can someone say that Jindal paid money or XYZ paid money to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, and there are entries that are available? Maybe that evidence will come up, it may not come up, there may not be any such evidence at all.
Yeah, see, the biggest point which is probably both parties are missing right now. Is it the right time to do just politics? Shouldn't we kind of focus on more issues of the people facing all these problems?
But Sandeep, you see that the problem here is not specific to a party or an individual, Kejriwal, Rahul or Modi. The thing is that this kind of politics has been around for, and this is not today's. This kind of hit and run politics was started by BJP when it was in opposition, to be very frank. You look at anything that Subramaniam Swamy says. During the entire election, the 7-phase or 6-phase general elections that we have around the country, based on wherever the current Prime Minister would be visiting, he would be making allegations, unsubstantiated allegations against the ruling dispensation at that point. And then he would get away with it, and forget about everything. Sheila Dikshit, the former Chief Minister of Delhi. There were so many things said about her. Both BJP and AAP are in power in respective governments. Have they gone ahead and done anything about it?
Nothing has been proven.
Similarly, the son-in-law, has anything been done about Gandhi's son-in-law?
No.
So the question is that this kind of culture which Kejriwal has now sort of specialized in is not that he started. This is kind of politics that BJP had started when the last.
It's happening from both sides, like Amit Shah would convert Chandigarh victory, the municipal poll victory, into an acceptance of demonetization. And that's happening from both sides. But I would kind of still ask the same question. Is it not lack of responsibility of both parties to do all this where much more is required on ground? I mean, collecting people to hear speeches rather than go help people out when they're standing in queues, or far more money reaching the rural areas and plan around that. And Mr. Modi should give more data around what has happened rather than take 25 minutes to mock Rahul Gandhi.
And I don't know if even rallies help in this. What will help is a huge party network that fans across towns, villages,
Absolutely.
communicates whatever message is there, extends whatever help is there.
Correct.
So the BJP is now trying to expand its party base, and they say, okay, we are the largest party with 1 crore people, or whoever number of people who have sort of taken BJP membership.
Correct.
But are those people active in fanning out across the country and helping people deal with the problems arising out of demonetization? Maybe that will be the real winning thing for BJP to do than just give speeches.
So on the political front, you think Rahul Gandhi is gaining any popularity? All these speeches, is he looking? He's at least doing a lot of shouting.
I really doubt. And in fact, I was just thinking on this earlier today, that how Rahul Gandhi does hit, but the problem is that the guy has no credibility. I mean, you look at social media, you look at least the influencers, who are non-biased influencers, even the people who are on the anti-BJP. I don't think you ever seen anybody really championing the Congress Rahul Gandhi cause, except for the traditional,
You look at him as a leader who can lead the country?
No.
Sumit?
I think the opposition is really divided. There are just too many people who want to be leaders. So everybody from Mamata Banerjee, who's now being, as the original protagonist of this entire anti-demonetization protest. Then there is Arvind Kejriwal, who also believes that he can make it big nationally. So he's going to Punjab.
You think he can make it big?
He's going to Madhya Pradesh. He has the energy right now, and he's putting in lots of efforts.
Okay.
And I think if they get some gains in Punjab in the coming elections, the impetus would certainly grow.
So Goa, he's again in a demonetization speech, he's announced the candidate for chief minister. You think they have a chance in Goa?
We don't really know at this stage, but yes, again, as I said, he's showing the energy, and one more big state like Punjab, an influential state like Punjab, can give him more momentum to expand all over.
May I just add two things, 2 points. First, this one, the problem is that when Congress won in the last to last election, and then of course last election with Manmohan versus Advani, Congress again won. The thing was, there is always a Tina factor. There was always this or the other. The problem currently is that Congress at its all-time low is no more the Tina factor. Gandhi family, the country has changed. That's one thing that people sitting in their darbars and Lutwins Delhi do not understand. The country has completely changed. That's number one. Second is going back to your question about should have BJP done more? Absolutely. Now, while I agree, at least on paper, that they are a party of 1 crore, but even without that, with the base of Sangh and ABVP, they are indeed the biggest organization in this country. And they could have gone ahead and done much better on the field, just the way they would do before elections. Look at a place like Manipur or UP. At the moment, because they're going to polls, they're completely dependent on a cadre base, which is not their own, but Sangh's primarily.
You think either opposition or the government and BJP, obviously, are showing enough sensitivity to people's problems?
Absolutely not.
Sumit?
No, certainly huge room for improvement there.
Huge room for improvement there.
Yes.
And what should have opposition ideally done in this scenario?
See, I personally don't think opposition could have done anything better, because opposition's work it's the same policy that opposition does. I mean, we have seen it for last 15-20 years. They always create trouble. It is their job to point out the problems. What the government could have done perhaps is the question.
But how about all these allegations? Do you think all those diary entries which Kejriwal quotes,
But that's not demonetization, Sandeep, that's elections.
No, but do they have any water in terms of, are those allegations
I
good
think we
enough?
just discussed, nothing has happened against Robert Vadra, nothing has happened against Sheila Dikshit. Lots and lots of other political cases. So it's very typical of politicians to raise these scam allegations all the time. But very little happens. A lot of it has to go through judicial scrutiny. And
So as a conclusion, can we say that, the government should have done more and opposition can't do a thing?
Of course, and let me also say that what has happened is that the Indian politics has become, Subramaniam Swamiization has happened, in which you say things, run away, there is no evidence, and that's, demonetization is a victim of that.
All right. So, finally, the government should have done more, and less of politics should happen on demonetization, and more focus on issues of common people should be focused upon. Thank you.